This is an ND filter and CPL filter all in one. This thin piece of glass can take your GoPro footage from amateur to pro. In this video, I'm going to explain how, when, and why to use it. This filter kit from Neewer comes with 4 ND/CPL filters and is compatible with Hero 9 through 11. There's a link in the description if you want to pick yours up from Amazon. An ND filter reduces the amount of light entering your camera, allowing you to slow down your shutter speed without overexposing your image. An ND filter does not affect saturation, contrast, or color. It only blocks light. So why do you need an ND filter if you want to shoot cinematic video? It's because one of the elements of what makes a video appear cinematic or more professional is motion blur. When objects are moving fast, our eyes naturally see them as blurry. You can test that out by quickly waving your hand in front of your face. Without motion blur in our videos, fast-moving objects appear in focus and sharp, making the movement feel less natural. The motion blur effect is achieved by setting your shutter speed to twice your frame rate. So if you're shooting at 30 frames per second, your shutter speed needs to be set to 60. The problem is that if you're shooting outside on a bright sunny day and your shutter speed is at 1/60, your image is going to be overexposed. The solution to that problem is an ND filter. The ND filter reduces the amount of light going into the camera, allowing you to maintain a shutter speed of 1/60 and giving you that natural look in your video. The Neewer kit comes with 4 ND filters. There's an ND8, an ND16, an ND32, and an ND64. The bigger the number, the more light is blocked from entering the camera. A word of warning, when I was testing out the ND filters, they had a negative effect on the GoPro's image stabilization, so keep that in mind. And also, you don't want to use them in low light situations. On this channel, I share all the latest camera news, reviews, and how-tos, so like and subscribe to learn how to get the most out of your camera. So why do you need to add a CPL filter to your kit? Because it does a lot of things to enhance the quality of your images. It can reduce unwanted reflections off of surfaces like water, glass, and metal. It can add contrast to blue skies and the white clouds. It can minimize haziness in the sky. You can use it to darken the sky if you want to create a more moody feel, making it a must-have piece of equipment if you're shooting landscape or even in the city. I went to a local park with a creek to demonstrate how and when to use the ND filters and CPL filter. I set my Hero 11 to 30 frames per second and the shutter speed to 60, and this was the result. But I really want that motion blur effect on my videos. The solution is an ND filter. You remove the lens cover and place an ND filter over the lens, starting with ND8 until the scene is exposed correctly. Here, the ND16 work the best. A CPL filter is great at reducing the amount of glare from surfaces like water. The glare is really noticeable and it's hard to see into the water. To reduce the glare, you simply turn the lens until you get the result you want. As I turn the filter, you see the glare reducing and you can see into the water. Since I was out during the middle of the day, the blue sky looked washed out. The CPL filter can help with that as well. The filter works best when your camera is pointed 90 degrees from the sun. So if you were to take your thumb and point it directly at the sun, where your finger is pointing is roughly 90 degrees. So if it is high noon, your thumb is straight up roughly and is pointing out towards the horizon. You can use a CPL filter if you're shooting through glass and want to remove the reflections. If there's a lot of moisture in the air and the sky looks hazy, you can reduce that. It works really well for car photography, for reducing the reflection and glare off of the glass and the metal, and those are just a few examples. So when do you not want to use a CPL filter? You're typically not going to want to use the filter if the sun is directly behind you or in front of you, so it's not great for sunrises or sunsets. It's also not good in low light environments because the filter is going to reduce the amount of light coming into your camera by 1 to 2 stops. So this is something you really want to be using on a bright, sunny day. There's also times that you may actually want a reflection in your image. And of course, then you're gonna wanna remove the CPL filter. What comes to mind for me is those images of a mountain range and there is the reflection of the mountains in a perfectly still Like, for that, you don't want the filter on or you're gonna lose that effect. To learn more about your Hero 11 settings and features, check out this video.